Excuse me, class. Class.
Hey, good looking. Hey guys, welcome back to my homestead education episode 5. I told you I'd be here. Had a couple of rough weeks. You know, I had a really bad sore throat. I still have a little bit of it, but it is going away. Got up into my ear, just got real nasty, and a big part of that, sugar. Ate a lot of sugar. I may talk about that a little bit more, but on this episode, we want you to enjoy it. We did manage. I felt good about week and a half ago. Went ice fishing with Halfway Hollywood, my son. New lake. I'd never been there before. Gorgeous. Had a wonderful time. We got some work going on in the basement. We had a big issue with our dogs. We're still having some issue with them, but I don't really know what to do. Maybe you guys can help me out with this. But anyhow, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 5 of my homestead education. Well, here I am with Lodi. Yeah, she's sweet. Sweet dog. And here's Kildare. What's up, big boy? What's up, big boy? And we had a bit of a scare this last week. Oh, big old boy. They took off on us, and they've done that. We have a lot of land around here and not a lot of people. We have a neighbor like probably 400 yards away, and then our next neighbors are 2 miles down the road. And they like to go after the coyotes and chase them down and kill them, and they do what they're supposed to do. And sometimes we've had them leave for 2 days at a time and then come back. But last week they left, and after 2 days they didn't come home, and after 3 days they didn't come home, and it just kept going. And fortunately, I guess it'd been 6 days. On the 6th day, 6th or 7th day, I got on Facebook and looked. Somebody had pointed out that there's a local lost and found pet place on Facebook. So I went and looked, and sure enough, right at the top of the page, there's their picture. So I got a hold of them. They found them. Our neighbor's 2 miles away. They were over at their house. They said they were very friendly, but they have a like a hotel or a lodge that they rent out, and their guests thought they were wonderful dogs, but they wouldn't let them out of the cars, and when they did get out of the cars, they'd jump on them. And so anyhow, they ended up calling and having them taken to the pound, and the pound called a local shelter of individuals who take in and adopt animals until they can find them full-time homes. And I called, and Lodi was in a town 8 miles to our east, and then that day Kildare had been taken to a Pyrenees shelter 60 miles to our west, and they were just about to go in and cut him, neuter him, which would have been detrimental, because you start neutering these animals and they lose some of their aggression that they need for defense. And we have a lot of coyotes, mountain lions, bears. There are wolves, and I want to give him every chance he has to fight them off. So, but he's doing good, and we got him back, and thank goodness they're all in one piece. It's been a long week. We've had a lot of illness in the house, sore throats and sinus infections for the most part. A lot of work for my job, and then of course looking for these dogs for the last week. So we got them. They're home. They're safe. We don't have much this week because of the illness and a whole bunch of other stuff, but let's see what we do have. So here we are going fishing. Lake Cascade up near McCall. This is several hours from where we live. And it's me, and y'all know this guy right here, Halfway Hollywood. And then I got my son JJ back here. And this is gorgeous. I've never been to McCall. I've never been down in this area in the wintertime at all. And there's just feet of snow everywhere. Elevation up here is like 4,800 to 5,000 feet. Look at that, there's some water.
Right here.
Is this the hot spring? Oh, that's a spillway.
Yeah, just up that way a little ways.
It's like a winter wonderland here. Well, we made it to Cascade. Here's Andrew trying to get his snowmobile to cool off. That's the lake. We're ready to have some fun. Well, we made it out here, and there's a big island right back behind us, and we're fishing on some holes that look like they were dug probably yesterday, and we're just busting back through them, and there's a whole line of them right through here. And we have a chainsaw, we can make our own, so if these aren't catching anything, we'll move on. There's a lot of people out here. Oh boy. We do have a chainsaw, but it's not too bad. Just getting the hatchet out, busting up a hole that's only an inch or 2 deep. Hang on, quick. Stop. We'll just finish this. Joshua, you having a good time? Yeah. Hey, once you get that worm, hook them a few more times on there. Most of it's hanging off. They can rip most of them off there without ever getting their mouth on the hook. Andrew's looking for some deeper water. They're going deeper right now. There's a fishing derby out here this weekend. Look at all the people out there. So JJ, what do you think of ice fishing? Huh? Cold doesn't bother you, huh? Now what's the important part? Stay warm, that's right. Stay warm. That's one thing I can attest to out here. This is my second time only ice fishing, and I went a couple weeks ago with my older son Caleb. He didn't want to come this time. The last time I just had some, all I had was just some plain, you know, straight rubber boots, those cheap ones. And those are fine in the summer or warmer weather, but in the winter and when you're on ice and slush, you just freeze. And my feet were cold, and it just made it miserable for me. So now I'm wearing insulated muck boots. And if you're interested in cold weather, waterproof insulated boots, these are wonderful boots. They really are good boots. I'm not even in the least bit cold today, and it's colder today. It's like 25 degrees colder now than it was 2 weeks ago at the other lake we were at. And so you can check out the link in the description below. One of those links will be for muck boots if you're interested. Also, I have these. These are some very nice, they're all wool, and they have deer skin leather on the inside, and so even when they get a little wet from working with the fishing line or getting it in the snow or something, they still keep you warm. And it's very important. Cotton is horrible out here. I have caught some cotton things on, I guess, but well, a lot of cotton. All this is cotton, but the wool keeps you warmer. Now I have several layers of insulation on. My base insulation I use is a synthetic. It's a I can't remember if it's real tree or mossy oak, but it's a thick. It's rated for like 0 or 10 below 0. They're very nice. They are a little pricey, but I used to wear them at the mill working nights in minus 15, minus 16 degree weather. They absorb scent, so even when I would get real sweaty working in cold weather, I didn't stink. So anyhow, they're very nice. I like them a lot, and it reduces a couple of layers if I was using just traditional cotton, you know, long johns. One of the things you'll notice when you're out in these cold weather areas, and I've heard this, you know, I grew up in Southeast Texas, so we didn't get this. This is a blast. I'm having a blast. Everybody said keep your extremities warm and keep your core. That's the big one. Keep your core warm. That's what it was. Keep the core warm. And you know, if you can keep all of this warm, the rest of you feels warm. You know, I just now put my gloves on. I believe right now it's about 18, 20 degrees, something like that. And I feel fine. You know, my ears get a little cool. I just pull my beanie down over it. So hopefully we can find these fish and start hitting them and get to show you some. I'm looking forward to taking home some yellow perch and frying that up for the family. Yeah.
I'm assuming they're headed down this way. I don't know where they go.
Yeah, we been out here a couple of hours. We're gonna be out here a long time. The prime time for fishing for today on the forecast was like 4 to 7 a.m. this morning. And we didn't even make it to the lake until close to 8. And then it's like 4 to 7 o'clock tonight. And since we've been here, the barometric pressure's gone up some, which will reduce the biting with the fish. Our understanding is with the barometric pressure, if the pressure's dropping, the air bladder inside of the fish actually makes them something to do with the equalization of the pressures inside of them, and it makes them want to bite and eat more. They feel like they need to eat more. And then when the barometric pressure's higher, actually pushing more pressure down, they get more equalized and they bite less often. Doesn't mean they won't ever bite, but it's more of a every kind of, you know, it's just an average day at that point. And staying warm, you know, eating on some sunflower seeds and having a good time. Sometimes I think JJ may be getting a little bored when I look over and he's making, you know, snow angels. But he's 9. He's having a good time. And I'm tired. I only got about an hour and a half of sleep last night, so if I sit down on that bucket for very long and sit here staring at a line, which it's only been hit once, it's just a little, real quick little nudge, didn't even take the bait. We know they're down there. We have a Garmin fish finder, and we can move our bait up and down and see it going up and down, and we see the fish coming in around it. They're just not biting it. We've got red worms, we've got maggots, we got wax worms, we got power bait, and we've got sweet corn. All 5 of those things they'll eat, they enjoy. But right now, they're just not biting. So we're gonna have patience, we're gonna have a good time. It's a gorgeous day, absolutely gorgeous. All the clouds are on the lake. I mean, there's nothing above us. Beautiful blue skies and a chemtrail. And though this part, the fishing hasn't been exciting, anytime you get to do something with your son and or with a friend, a good close friend, it's always a good day, you know. A bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work, you know. And, you know, one day we'll do this and actually catch some fish. All right, things are getting really exciting in our 8th hour of fishing. Andrew just set the hook, pulled the sucker up. It did get away though. It did. We did see it. It was big. Like, big. We couldn't have even gotten it through the hole. I was grabbing the chainsaw, getting ready to cut it out. Not really. It was good. It was what? 12, 13 inches? Yellow perch. Very nice. Had that 18-inch rod, I mean, bent right over. But we are excited. The fishing forecast for today said 4 to 7 p.m. It should pick up. And I think it's right at 4 right now. 3:55 or so is when the hit happened, so we're excited. Well, it's evening is setting upon us, as you can see, and we caught a fish and we've gotten a couple bites. Almost landed 2 so far, and the action's starting to pick up now that we've been here, you know, all day. But I wanted to show you what we're about to set up. Andrew, we ran out of gas on our chainsaw right as he was trying to finish cutting 3 holes. Real close. This one is at a weird angle, so it won't go away, and this one isn't finished yet. But we're getting ready to put up his really nifty Quick Fish 3 pop-up portable. Eskimo makes these. It's designed for 3 men. It's hard to see in there, really, but it's got a lot of space in there, and it'll keep the wind off of you, and it stays warm. And yeah, you can go ahead. And anyhow, they're very neat. They're easy to pop up. I mean, Andrew and I put this up from the bag to this in a minute and a half, and it takes about as long to put it down. So you can check this out in our description below. Quick Fish 3 pop-up portable. If you're interested in ice fishing or you like it, but sometimes that wind is cutting you a little deep, or it's minus 20 outside, check these out. They're reasonable, very reasonable. I don't even want to try to remember what I just saw on Amazon the other day, but I remember looking at it going, hey, that's not too bad. So anyhow, here we are finishing it up. Here we are, got all 3 holes going. JJ here, got halfway over there, looks halfway homeless. The sun's starting to go down. See it out the little window we got here. The fish finder's saying we got some fish down there, so we're nice and cozy. It's cooling off. We're hearing the cracking happening in the lake. The ice is good 12, 13 inches deep. Thick, so we're pretty good there. There's one thing I've been wanting to do for some time now, and last year I started to get a little bit more of an itch for it. Zach Bauer over at an American Homestead sent me a oyster mushroom block, and we have really enjoyed the oyster mushrooms from that, and I'm hoping, actually, it's been 8 months, something like that, since we got it going and started getting flushes from it. But pretty soon I'm going to experiment and break it out of the package and start growing more bags of it and see if maybe the mycelium will see if I can't flush it out some more and start expanding on that. But today, what I want to do, I've been reading and watching YouTube videos and just checking out a bunch of different stuff. I'm going to attempt something. May not work. That's part of life, right? You just try it out. But I have here 2 different varieties of button mushrooms. I have the white, and I have the brown. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get these spawning, get the mycelium taken off. What we're going to use, we got some coffee grounds. I have no idea if these work well in coffee grounds. I haven't seen a lot on the button mushrooms, even though there's plenty out there. But I was at the store today getting some stuff for the Sabbath. I saw 2 big old boxes of loose mushrooms and thought, hey, let's start with those. So right now inside, it's loud in there. That's why I'm out here right now outside. I got all the women are in the kitchen. They're getting ready for Sabbath. They're getting meals prepared for tonight and tomorrow. And we have a friend over who's having fun entertaining the kids right now, showing them videos of cute dogs. Not my thing, but she loves it and they enjoy it. But we're going to try to start with these 2 little bags here and see what we can do. And I'm going to experiment, because usually what they do is they take the stem and they tell you to try to find stem that has a little bit of fuzziness on it, and that's the mycelium. I couldn't detect anything that was fuzzy, so I'm hoping just the stem itself will have enough of the spore, mycelium, whatnot. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take one, I'm going to try to do enough to do 3 jars of each variety. And in 1 jar, I'm just going to put the stem, little 1/4 inch cubes of the stem. I'm going to cut them all up, and we're going to place those in 1 jar. And I got coffee and hay, straw that we're using. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. But in one jar of each, so 2 jars, I'll do just stems. In 2 jars, I'll do stems and some of the caps. And the caps are where spores actually come from anyway, and I'm hoping maybe some of these have spores in them. I don't know. I'm learning about mushrooms. I don't know yet. I would love to start growing a wide variety and have it as yet another form of income on the homestead. We're getting ready to start doing grass-finished lamb, grass-finished beef. We're going to be selling some of our garden seeds this year, so we'll be looking forward to that. We'll actually be selling those pretty soon. Probably in the next month they'll go up for sale, so that'll be early March. It'll be perfect time for you to get your package of seeds in the mail. But anyhow, what we're going to try to do is learn the best ways to do this. So we're going to have 2 jars with just stems, 2 jars with just caps, and 2 jars that have both. And we'll stack it in there. And what we're going to do is I have coffee grounds. I'm going to put them in coffee grounds. And then we're going to what's the word I'm looking for? I just lost it. We're going to pasteurize, that's the word, pasteurize the straw. There's a lot of room on and inside of the straw that will hold all kinds of other microorganisms and fungi and bacteria. We want it all dead. So we're going to keep we're going to try to maintain a water temperature of at least 160 degrees for 45 minutes with the straw completely submerged inside of it. And what we're hoping that'll do is kill everything off. We're going to sterilize the knife we cut with, sterilize the cutting board we're on with isopropyl alcohol. We're going to sterilize the inside of the jars and the lids with isopropyl alcohol, and just make sure there's as little competition for these bad boys as possible. And we're going to see if we can't get these to start growing, because if I can get those 6 jars to start growing, Then I'm going to take bags and we're going to put more medium in there and put the mycelium that we grow from these into those bags or into trays, one or the other. These grow real well in trays and they come off the top. Oyster mushrooms, they will come off the top, but if you have them in bags, they love to come up from the sides. So anyhow, we're going to try that out. So join me inside and let's see how this goes. All right, here we got the water on some heat, and it's coming on up. It's almost to 160 now, and we'll be submerging the straw down into there and keeping it good and hot for the next 45 minutes once we get it in there. All right, temperature's over 160 right now, and we're just going to take this bag here of straw, and there's some hay mixed in there. Should be okay. Maybe it'll even add some nutrients for the let's see. Make sure it gets good and submerged. You can tell some of the sheep have been in there. The sheep got in where I have no idea what to expect if there's little pieces of sheep droppings in this. Maybe some of y'all who've done mushrooms before can tell me what to expect. Certainly didn't mean for it to have all that in there. My son went out and grabbed some straw out of the covered area, and I knew the sheep had gotten in there before, but I wasn't expecting all this. And hopefully this is enough and I don't have to do another one. Alright, I'm not going to be able to get that whole bag in there at this time. Alright, while we're waiting for the straw to boil up, we're going to sterilize and get everything cut up here. So, I got 70% isopropyl alcohol here. Make sure it does a dandy job cutting or killing everything that you're going to be cutting on and with. So, we're going to wipe down the cutting board. Get everything covered in it. We're going to cut the knife, wipe the knife off with it. We want to make sure it's all the serrated areas are good and cleaned out. We don't want anything to spoil the opportunity for our mushrooms to grow. We're even going to pour a little bit in each one of these, and we're just going to let that alcohol coat everything inside and just kill it out. And we're going to let it come up here, soak it up. Drain out there. Got the kids running around. They're good kids. Got 7 kids and you hear them running around in the background and not biting each other's heads off, that's a good sign. So. Oh, you know what? I didn't clean the outside of that other one. Again, this is my first attempt to do this. I know there's all kinds of different things to do with different kinds of mushrooms, different substrates to put them in. Some of them need hardwood or do better with it, like shiitakes. I have no idea. This is just a guess with these, based on what I've seen people doing with them. And I'm going to cut them up and then just put them right back into these bags, I guess, or maybe on a paper towel. But you know, there's a lot of things you can do with mushrooms, and they sell for a lot of money. These are just simple little button mushrooms. They're among some of your cheaper variety, and these were $4.50 to $5 a pound. The brown ones were $4.69 actually. Let's see, what was it? $4.69, and for these whites, they were like $4.49 or something. So almost $4.50 for both of them. The oyster mushrooms, which we have in the kitchen, and we'll be working on that some more here in the future. Those sell for $6 to $12 a pound, fresh, and even more if you dry them and store for storage. And so what we're going to do here is start cutting these up and set these off to the side for now. Now again, I'm going to do some with just the stem, and some with just the cap, and then some with both. Stem goes up in there quite a ways. Alright, so we're going to do two of them. What we're going to do is start with some coffee grounds. These were used this morning. I'm just realizing I only got 4 jars, so we'll do 2 with stems and 2 with tops. Alright, so we're going to do 2 with just stems. These are the dark brown stems. And these are the white stems.
Daddy, where's the black one?
I don't have any black ones. And we're going to take some of this straw here.
Daddy, why do you dip? Daddy, why do you dip?
Now you'll notice the straw here, I can squeeze it and there's no water coming out. It's wet, but it's not dripping everywhere. I let it drain pretty good. It's better if it's chopped up real good, but I didn't have the time to chop it this morning. JJ, Joshua, come here. Go out there and see if you can find me just a little stick. And then in these we're going to do the tops. I don't know if these will work. I've never seen anybody use tops. I only see them using the bottoms. But we're going to try it out. See what happens. Yep, perfect. Alright, sent my son out. He got me a stick so I can get it pushed down in there really well. Uh-oh, I just realized I didn't put anything in this one. Did I? Oh no, I put both. I used the same stuff. Okay, well, maybe we'll mix them. Got company here and I'm trying to hurry up. Now the rest of this coffee we'll put in compost or save it for the worms that we're about to start up. think we're just going to put tops on these, and I'm going to throw a few of these white tops in with the white stems and just see how they do. See if they do anything. If they start from there, heading down. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to just put tops on these and then stick them back in a dark, cool spot in the cabinets, and just check on them every day and just see how they do. Never done this before, might do nothing. So we'll have to check out probably episode 6 or 7 just to see if the mycelium's starting to grow. All right, guys, enjoy.